Hello friends, so I'm on the concluding part of this contract costing topic. I'm left with two questions, question number 3 and question number 4 of your institute booklet in the chapter job and contract costing. Now both these questions are wonderful questions as they require you to first calculate notional profit from contract account and then estimated profit from memorandum contract account. So this gives very good practice of making contract account as well as memorandum contract account. Let us concentrate on question number 3 there. AKP Builders commenced a contract on 1st April 2002, whatever year is there. Total contract price was rupees 5 lakh. Actual expenditure given till 31st March. So one complete year has been done. And estimated expenditure for next 9 months is also given because 31st December 2003 the contract is expected to be over. The years can be different in different edition of booklets. Now let us start making first contract account. Contract account for year ending. The figures in my booklet are this. In new booklets, the year will be different. So first complete year ending contract account. All actuals will come. None of the estimated data will be used in this. Two materials. New contract, nothing opening. 90,000. Two wages, internal column paid 75,000. Add closing outstanding 6250. 81250. The plant I don't put. Your institute do put plant opening here, closing there, then they put sale also, profit on sale. I'll not put. I'll put only depreciation. 2. Depreciation on plant. Now, value of plant given in the beginning 25,000. Then at the bottom, part of plant was scrapped and disposed of for 2875. The value of plant at site in the end was given 7750. Now, out of this, 2875 was sold and closing is 7750. Balance is depreciation. We are not having any profit or loss on sale of plant, so that will be ignored for this purpose. I assume cost of plant sold is also 2875. 25,000 minus 2875 minus 7750. I'm getting is 14375 depreciation. Then sundry expenses. Two sundry expenses. Paid 7250 minus closing prepaid. This is 625. 7250 minus 625. This is 6625. 6625. Establishment charges. Again revenue expenditure. Establishment charges. It is not capital item like land and building. It is charges. Annual expense related to establishment. 14625. At the bottom, a part of material was unsuitable and was sold for 18125, cost being 15,000. By cash or bank, they are realizing 18125. On that there is a profit also. Two costing P&L. That is profit on sale of material. This is abnormal profit because material is never purchased with the intention of selling. So abnormal profit will go to costing P&L 3125. The impact of cost comes on credit side, that is 15,000 net. Plant we have seen, material at site is there. Buy closing material at site. Buy closing material at site 4,250. I have to just make calculations to find balancing figure, which should be the notional profit. Let us compute. Okay, closing WIP is still pending. WIP should be given. Okay. Cash received, I'll not put, representing 80% of work certified by work in progress. Work certified, work uncertified. Now certified is 1,75,000 divided by 80%. That is 218,750. This is important calculation to understand. Question says cash received is 1,75,000, which is 80% of work certified. So work certified equals 1,75,000 into 100 by 80. That is computed 218,750. Uncertified given 27,375. The cost is given. I wanted cost only. 27,375. The total is 246,125. Now I should get the credit side totals. Plus 4,250 plus 18,125. This is 26,8500. On debit side, 90,000, 81,250, 14,375, 6625, 14,625, 3125. This is two notional profit. This is the answer of this side, 58,500 balancing figure. This is notional profit here. Reaching the memorandum contract account. Now try to focus on our basics in memorandum contract. Do not put effect of intermediate items, material at site, outstanding items, prepaid items. On credit side must put contract price and don't put any closing WIP. And there is no closing items there. And all the things which happened in actual, like abnormal loss of material, abnormal sale of material, that will happen here also. Let's go point by point. I'll just show you calculation of each point to get the estimated profit in this question. Two materials, you're having materials 90,000 given there. 90,000 was actual. More material consumed 8,5750. Add them, you get total 1,75,750. In addition, at bottom there was one abnormal sale of material that I put here, by cash 18,125. On that there is abnormal gain put on debit. This it did in contract account also. Same will happen in memorandum contract also. This is two costing P&L, abnormal loss of material 3125. Be very sure there is nothing like closing material at site, because when the contract ends there is no material given there. So no material at site will come which came in the contract account. That was intermediate item. Labor 75,000 paid. You are expecting to pay 87,325 more. That is given in the table second item. 75,000, 87,325. Very important is outstanding. Intermediate item 6250 will not come. Not to add 6250 is very, very important point. And 8,300 expected at the end of contract life outstanding will surely be added. Once you add, you get 1,70,625. I'll explain you another way. understand logically. Why didn't I add 6250? At the end of first year, 6250 is outstanding. Now, either it is paid in next 9 months or it is not paid. If it is paid, then it is included here already. If it is not paid, it is already included here already. In one of these two items, 6250 is already there. So if I add 6250 also, it will result in duplicacy. Either understand logically or remember the point. Three things: outstanding, prepaid, material at site of intermediate period will not be adjusted while making memorandum contract account. Why was it given? For the purpose of making correct contract account. There we did add 6250 in the labor cost. Here you will not add. So this is most important point in this question. Next, plant. 25,000 was there. 2875 was sold, scrapped. Plant costing 2875 was scrapped. We assumed there is no profit loss on that. So it was sold for 2875 and it had cost of 2875. Additional plant at the bottom given. Further sum of 31250 would have to be spent on plant, and residual value of plant on completion of contract will be 3750. Residual on completion is 3750. So earlier figure that was given, what, 7750, that is not relevant here. That was at the end of the year. This is at the end of the contract. Estimated profit is when contract finishes, what will happen. So depreciation will be 49625. Depreciation will be 49625. This is the correct figure. Sundry expenses. Sundry expenses, again prepaid intermediate item will not come. At the end there is no prepaid. So 7250 paid already, 6875 to be paid next year, total 14125. Then establishment charges, very interesting, very important. Second last point given at the bottom. Establishment charges would cost the same amount per month as in previous year. Last year this was payment for 12 months. Monthly is this divided by 12. Total period included in the contract is 21 months. 12 months last year, 9 months next year. 12 plus 9 is 21. So into 21. Or what I can do, 14625 plus 14625 divided by 12 into 9. One and same thing. Whatever you do, you will get this figure 25593.75. At the end, 10,800 would be sufficient to provide for contingencies. So additional point, provision for contingencies 10,800. On credit side, I must put contract price by contractee 5 lakh rupees. Once I put it there, make it in T form, you will get more and more feeling about the contract accounts. Your institute answer gives it in some calculation form. I would love to do it in memorandum contract account form. I am getting balancing figure almost same as your institute, 25 paisa difference is there. That is approximation problem of the institute. 6848 is correct estimated profit. I don't apply further formulas. If question has told me, I would be applying further formulas based on estimated profit or notional profit. But question does not want profit to be taken to costing P&L. So this is the complete answer that I am going to give in exam. Notional profit and estimated profit for this contract. Reaching the last question of this contract costing. This is question number 4. It is similar to question number 3. You have to first make a contract account to get notional profit, and then we will be making the memorandum contract account so that we can get the estimated profit on the contract. Let's focus on contract account here. Contract account for the year ending 31st March 20x2. As I keep saying, your year can be different depending on the edition of your booklet, but concepts are going to be same. It's similar to what you have done earlier, 12 months earlier, and then April to September. Then another 6 months in the memorandum contract. So memorandum contract is for 18 months, contract account is for full year. Let's put the expenditures there. To materials issued 776250, to wages internal column adjustments paid 5,17,500, add outstanding 12,500 minus prepaid 37,500. So all will be adjusted here. When you make memorandum contract, intermediate items will not affect. 517500 plus 12,500 minus 37,500. I'm getting is 492500. Then plant purchased. I don't put the plant purchased. I put the depreciation on that. In books you will find plant opening, plant closing. I don't do like that. To depreciation on plant. At the bottom it is written annual depreciation is 25% on written down value method. I'll make a working note for depreciation on plant because of the adjustment which was given. I prepare a working note 1. Depreciation on plant. I'll make it very comprehensive so that I get the figure of contract account also, memorandum contract account also in this working note only. I make two types of plant. Plant 1, plant 2. Are there two plants in the question? No, there is one plant only. I am going to make it two ways. Plant 1, 1 lakh. Plant 2, 3 lakh. According to return date. Return date 30th September 2011 and this is 30th September 2012. Till the end of contract 3 lakh is getting used. Now depreciation in year 1 on first plant 1 lakh 25%, 6 months. It is used from 1st April till 30th September, 6 months only. So 12,500 you will get here. 25,000 for the year, for 6 months 12,500. This is 3 lakh 25%. It is used first year fully, second year half year. I am computing for year 1 only. So I am getting here 75,000. Year 2, depreciation on contract on plant 1 is nil because it has been returned to store. It is not used on this contract at all. I am talking about usage on this contract. It is nil because it was returned last year September only. In second year, this 2,25,000 WDV, 25% for 6 months. What you are getting? 2,25,000 written down value, 3 lakh minus 75,000. On that 25% 6 months. 2,25,000 into 25% into 6 by 12, half year. This is 28,125. So year 1 depreciation total. This is 87,500, 28,125 in second year. Aggregate total depreciation in 2 years 115,625. Now important thing is this will go to contract account and aggregate will go to memorandum contract account. So contract account is 87,500. Let's get back to the contract account. 87,500. In bracket I can write refer WN1. In exam, you are expected to be very clear on your working. If you do it on calculator, do it perfectly, write it there, you get very less marks. Unless you show it in working note and refer it here. Even if you show in bracket, it is okay. Presentation should be understandable. But if you make a separate working note, must refer it. Examiner should be able to get where you have written that, where you have done the calculation, not on your calculator. Calculator is never attached to your answer sheet. So make it sure you are showing the calculation. Depreciation has been done. Next, work certified and uncertified. On credit side I go. By work in progress, work certified 22,50,000. Work uncertified, it is given there 25,000. So it becomes 22,75,000. Outer column WIP. Cash received never comes in the contract account. It is used in formulas only when you compute the progress payment ratios. Material at site. By closing, material at site 82,500. Depreciation I have already put, there is nothing else at the bottom. So I can get the notional profit here. 22,75,000 plus 82,500. I am getting 23,57,500 total there. 776,250, 492,500, 87,500. I think expenses we missed. Okay, expenses we need to put. Two expenses. 2,25,000 plus 25,000 outstanding minus 15,000 prepaid. 2,35,000 is expense. I hope I am getting two. Notional profit 766,250. Lastly, we reach memorandum contract account here. Let's start from the beginning again. I'll first put the contract price on the credit side because I don't have to put any WIP there. By contractee account, the contract price was 49,21875. I reach materials. Two materials 776,250 plus 1299375. 776,250 plus 1299375. I'm getting is 20,75,625. Two wages, very interesting intermediate items to be ignored. So what I'm getting there, 517500 plus 618,750 plus 5750, which is extreme and outstanding. I ignored 37,500 prepaid and 12,500 outstanding, which were intermediate items. I explained that why to leave in the last question also. So be sure intermediate items, material at site, outstanding, prepaid will be ignored in memorandum contract. 517500 plus 618,750 plus 5750. So what I am getting is 11,42,000. Then to depreciation on plant. Refer WN1 again. I computed in WN1 115,625. 115,625. Then expenses. I should not forget expenses. Two expenses 2,25,000 plus 3,75,000 plus extreme end 10,000 outstanding. Intermediate outstanding prepaid, they are to be ignored. This I get is 6,10,000. 6,10,000. Depreciation I put WIP will not come. Extreme end material is there. Buy material at side. Be sure do not add only closing material. 42,500 will come. Balancing figure will be to estimated profit. Let us calculate. 4921875 plus 42,500. The aggregate I am getting is 49,64,375 minus 2075625. 11,42,000 minus 115625 minus 6,10,000. I am getting is 10,21,125 as estimated profit in this contract. Again, question does not want me to apply the formula. No, it wants me to apply the formula. It's written there. It was decided to estimate total profit on the contract and take to credit of costing P&L the proportion of estimated profit on cash basis which work completed bore to total contract. What he wants? Estimated profit on cash basis means apply progress payment ratio which work completed means certified bore to total contract. Total contract means contract price. He wants you to apply the best formula that you have done in the fourth rule. Now, is the fourth rule applicable or not? Don't look at rule for applicability, because question is saying it is the matter of policy of the company to apply this formula. So, we have to apply this formula even if contract is 20% complete. Whatever stage of completion, I don't mind. If this policy of company, it goes over and above our rules. The policy is given, I am applying the same. 1021125 multiplied by cash received was given somewhere 18,75,000 divide by contract price 4921875. So what I am getting, 1021125 divided by 4921875 multiplied by 18,75,000. I am getting is 3,89,000 rupees. This is amount to be taken to costing P&L. If you want to show it there, you can go back to your contract account, buy notional profit 766,250 to costing P&L. This is net profit taken to costing P&L 3,89,000 to WIP reserve 766,250. I am getting in WIP reserve 3,77,250. This is a complete question number 4 in contract costing. Now here I am dealing with few small concepts which are not dealt in your institute study material, still they are relevant for contract costing. One of them is making of contractee account, and second is disclosure of WIP in the balance sheet of a contractor. So first is making of contractee account. If you understand the journal entries better, the ledger can be easily made. Now, in all years, contractor shall make entry for receiving progress payments as bank account debited to contractee account. Every year, whatever is the work certified, a pre-decided percentage of that will be received. The entry will be bank to contractee account. No other entry related to contractee account. In last year, on completion of contract, entry shall be contractee account debited to contract account. What is the amount of this entry? Contract price. At total contract price, the entry is passed, and after that you receive the progress pay, the retention money. Retention money receipt, same entry, bank to contractee. Then receive the retention money. Entry is bank account debited to contractee account. Now, very simple, contractee account will be closed once the retention money is also received. So, every year you are passing entry bank to contractee, bank to contractee, bank to contractee. If I ask you a simple question, in the books of contractor, in the trial balance, what is the nature of balance of contractee, debit or credit? Every year the balance is credit, because contractee account is never debited till the completion of contract. Bank to contractee, contractee account is credited every year, and the balance keeps on increasing. The total progress payment received is shown in the trial balance, has to go to balance sheet also. From this concept arises another concept related to disclosure of WIP in balance sheet. Now, before I do that, I can show you a contractee account. Contractee account. From the year 1 itself, they will start receiving progress payment. Year 1, by bank, carry down. Year 2, brought down by bank, increases. The aggregate is carried down now. Year 3, brought down by bank. Let's say in year 3, contract is completed. To contract, this is contract price. By bank, this is retention money. This is progress payment of third year. This is progress payment of second year. Progress payment of first year. And the account is closed. This is how contractee account looks like in 3 years of its contract. Now I show you one last thing. Disclosure of work in progress in balance sheet of contractor. We put work certified add work uncertified what I'm getting is called gross WIP less WIP reserve. What I get? Net WIP less advance received from contractee. Every year, whatever was credit balance of contractee account, it is being termed as advance received from contractee. Somebody asked me, sir, what will happen in last year? Because last year there is no balance left for contractee account. In last year, there will be no WIP. Once contract is complete, there is no work in progress. So last year, this will not affect. Till last year, every year there was advance received. The money received as progress payment in aggregate is termed as advance received from contractee. It is to be deducted. It is not shown in liability side. Instead, it is deducted from WIP. Now, after this balancing figure, you get amount of WIP to be taken in outer column of balance sheet. So basically there are three stages to follow. Work certified, which is involving profit. Work uncertified, strictly at cost. When both are added, what I am getting is gross WIP less WIP reserve closing. I am getting net WIP minus advance received from contractee, which is credit balance of contractee account. After deducting, what I am getting is amount to be taken in outer column of balance sheet of contractor. They are small concepts. They were prominently coming in exam long back, but recently they have not been asked. In module, they are not carried. But you should be having knowledge of these small things. Making contractee account and this disclosure of WIP in the books of, in the balance sheet of contractor. I hope it is clear to you. I have dealt with all the questions. These are all questions related to your study module. If you want to do much more questions, you will have to go with my pen drives. In pen drive, you get much more questions, 20 odd questions in contract costing. I have given you everything on YouTube in techniques of costing, but in all other chapters, I am solving all the modules here. And if you still want more and more practice, you can refer to my WhatsApp number, my email, get in touch with me, and you can get the pen drive for the rest of the material. Thank you.